Hey friends, welcome back to the fountain penning station. I'm Bailey. It's nice to meet you if you're new here. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. I encourage you to stick around. We are working on redoing my inventory, my binder. So I am redoing this because my old one is iroful paper and I wanted to update it to Tomoe River paper to since I use Tomoe River paper, sometimes iroful is not, it's very sensitive to hand oils. So if you do this very gently, it'll show your oils on your skin. I just don't like using it. I wanted to update my paper to match the paper that I'm writing with. So if you're going to do a project like this, I recommend you do that as well. So I've made papers for each brand. And some brands will have samples next to it or some other special thing next to it. That's for inks that I have a lot of different categories of. So I'm thinking like the Diamine ink vent, I'll have different ink vent titles on here. Or like if I have a lot of samples, I'll mark samples on here. Otherwise, like if I just have this much ink for a brand, I'll put sample or S to signify that it's a sample instead of having a whole sheet for it. I don't have a lot of Three Oysters ink, so if I have time, I'll do the Amarillo Stationery one next. I only have what you see in front of me, or what you see in front of the camera. I have a bottle of Haniel, samples of Three Oysters Night Black, a sample of Buchanan, and a small bottle of Dildam. And I've used a decent amount of this. So let's get swatching. I'm going to do my full bottles first. So I'm going to do Haniel first. Did you hear that? If you hear my cat in the background, she was adamant she wanted to be in this room with us, so if you see a lot of cat hair, it's probably hers. Or it could be Gully's, but Gully doesn't really come near my desk. He lays by my feet usually. And I have water to my right, and I also have a cloth to my left. So put Haniel. I think when I got this ink, I thought I was getting the other one, which is Gael Haniel. It's a more of a aqua versus this one. And Three Oysters inks are a little bit wetter, so they do flow well in a pen. Just keep that in mind if you have a really juicy pen. They are really wet. There's no shading in here. If you see WP on my sheet, I can't remember if I already said this, it means waterproof. None of these are waterproof, so. And then we'll start with our sample or mini bottles. And then I will do Buchanan next. Actually, I'll probably separate it out because I would like to get a full bottle of Dildam and Night Black, so. And I do want other Three Oysters inks, it's just they're really hard to find. I think right now I've only seen them at like Dino Rights. What is the other one? If I remember, I'll put it down below, but rinse it off and write it again. I don't, unless that's just what it does. I also have Americano. I just don't know what I did with it. So after here in a second, I'll see if I can find it. Oh, it just got this weird shading to it. Did you see that? I was doing it again, so I think it was just part of the color. Interesting. Okay, the next one is Doldam. This one is very fun. If you hear of 3 oysters, typically you'd hear of Doldam because of how unique it is. I think, and I believe if I remember right, 3 Oysters put out a ton of new colors, but you can't get them in the United States right now. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can't really cross my fingers right now, but we can get them here in the States at some point. This one performs really well in a pen. I really like putting it in like a broad or double broad because then you can really see the color variation. I'm going to leave this zoomed out a little bit, so if you wanted to watch it dry while we're doing the other ones, you can. It's really, really fun. Okay, the next one is Night Black. And this is just a nice dark sheening black, which I love. Nori. You cannot fit into that bag. Oh my gosh, I just love this so much. I'm really hoping I can find a bottle of this at some point. And this does perform well in a pen. I have not tried it in an extra fine, but in a fine and medium, it has performed well, even despite the sheen. And if you're sensitive to sheen, I would avoid this one. I think that's what gives it some of the really dark black. That was a sample. That was 10 milliliters. Okay. You can just see the color shifting as it goes. So I'm going to set this off to the side carefully. Actually, let me pause this real quick. All right, I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to do Amarillo Stationeries. And I'm just going to do the ones that are specific to Amarillo. He's got a couple that he sells that are Monarca, and I'll be doing those on a separate sheet. So we put that to the side, and let me find Amarillo's. Okay, so we're gonna kick off again with the Amarillo. We'll do our full bottles first, and I have 2 of them. I have Toasty Joggers and Rosa Mexicano. I have donated a lot of this, so I don't have a ton left in here. So we'll do Rosa Mexicano first, because I'm trying to keep it somewhat chronological order. I'm having to stand up because Nori has taken over my seat. I cannot remember if Amarillo this has sheen in it, so I'll just wait to see. If it shows up or not. It's a lot harder to doodle when I'm standing up like this. But if I kick her off my chair, then she starts getting into other stuff. Okay, that's Rosa Mexicano. Next we have Amarillo Toasty Joggers. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to combine some of these videos. Like, I'm going to combine for sure Amarillos with 3 oysters. But we'll just see how long they get if I can combine more. One of the reasons why, friends, this is a good idea is then you can kind of see what you have in your collection and inks that maybe you forgot you had. I've done this a few times and then got ideas for my pens for the next month. Okay, then we'll move on to our samples. I just have 2 of them. I thought I had another one, but which ones do I have? Amarillo Antigua and Blue Suntan. Yeah, I thought I had teal waistband, but okay. So yeah, I can only find these 2. Amarillo Antigua and Blue Suntan. So sometimes I have samples, I don't use them, and then I give them away as gifts when I'm doing my pen pal packages. So I think this is probably one of them. I apologize, I'm just trying to see. Okay. Alright, let's just carry on. So I'll do Amarillo Antigua first. This is a really bright yellow, but legible yellow, so it's warm leaning. Sometimes if you get a yellow and it's too bright, then it's just like a highlighter. This one is not. I have had all these in a pen, and they all perform really well. I forgot to put sample. The only reason why I haven't bought bottles of these 2 samples is I don't write with yellow very often, and alternatively, I don't write with blue leaning inks very often. I'm actually surprised I didn't keep teal waistband, because I think I would write with that one more than this one. I feel like my little swatches are getting bigger and bigger. Okay, friends, we're gonna let these dry, and then we're gonna compare, go through the Amarillo and the 3 oysters together and see how they look. So I'll be back, friends. Okay, friends, I did find my Americano. It was hiding. This is exactly why I like doing projects like this. Sometimes when you have too much ink, that happens. And I've been in the process of reorganizing my workspaces just because my cat, Gully, has been really sick. He is a senior cat. He is one of my loves, my first cat. I don't want to talk about it too much because it'll make me cry near the end stages. So I cleared my desk off out there for him. He sticks with me all the time, except for on this desk. So, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because it will make me cry. So, okay, so I'm gonna let that dry. We'll come back to that, but everything else is dry already. except for this blue suntan. It's taking a while to dry. Rosa Mexicano has a little bit of a sheen, so I am going to mark that. I'll just use a mild liner or a mid liner. And this performs really well in a pen, and it's not super bright where you can't just write with a whole page of it. I love this ink. Toasty Joggers, another great ink. I don't write with this color too often, but when I do, I really enjoy it. Amarillo Antigua, again, another color I don't write with a ton, only because I don't lean towards yellows, period. So even like this, like a yellow leaning brown, same story. But this performs excellent in a pen. Blue Suntan is a great ink. I just don't love blue leaning, blue teal, blue ink. I'm trying to think of another example. So like, yeah, even like teal. I don't write with teal very often either. This is what it looks like on Iroful. So this is another reason why I wanted to switch to Tomoe River, because that's what I use every day in my Hobonichis, and I don't plan on changing that. Look how much more yellow that is. Toasty Joggers, much more brown on the Iroful. This looks like it'll be about the same. I had gotten this well after I did this. Another reason why I'm doing this is just to make sure I'm cataloging my inks. So those are the Amarillo Stationery on the Tomoe River paper. So let that blue suntan dry. And then Americano's not quite dry yet, but we'll keep going. 3 Oysters Haniel is a very nice, bright, punchy blue. I have a lot of blues like this, so I'm probably going to rehome this. 3 Oysters Buchanson. Interesting shading. This does perform well in a pen. Americana Doldam. I highly recommend, if you can find this, to get it. It is a very fun shading ink that makes you wonder, is it gray? Is it brown? Is it green? Like, what is this? It's amazing. I love it. So when I catalog it by color, I usually put it in 2 or 3 for catalogs, because it just depends on what it's next to, what it looks like. 3 Oysters Night Black. Oh my god, I love this ink. I know not everybody loves sheen or can handle sheen because of the migraines, but luckily I am light sensitive, but not to sheening inks. I really like this. The Birmingham Pen Company Black Pearl is very similar to this. Is another favorite of mine that has not been in stock. So I've been kind of slowly using my samples. I have emailed the Birmingham Pen Company to see if they'll restock it, and they said they would, but it's been a few months already and they haven't. Here's Black Pearl next to it. It's pretty close. And then if you're light sensitive, there's Gunpowder as a nice alternative if you can't handle the sheen. And then Americano will dry a little bit lighter, or it should. But seeing how different this is on Iroful, maybe not. So look at that, Doldam is much more green and brown on Tomoe River, gray and pretty basic brown on Iroful. The shading is even more noticeable in the Tomoe River than on the Iroful paper for Haniel. So that's that. I might keep these. I already punched them out. I had to fix them because I switched binders. So I might keep them for reference in case somebody wants to see them at like a pen show, but this will be my main swatch that I look at. Alright friends, well that's the 3 oysters. I think next we'll do the Andrewillium. We're going to keep up with chronological order. And then we'll see if I have time to do any more this month. There's a few other videos I want to do, and with my cat's health, I just haven't been in the headspace to do a lot of videos. So we'll see. We'll have 3 oysters and Amarillo for this video. And then, or 3 oysters and, yeah, 3 oysters and Amarillo for this one. Here we go. Let me know which ones are your favorite. And if you've tried any of these, which ones? I hope everybody has a great day or night wherever you're watching this. Take care of yourselves, give yourself grace. Until the next time, bye friends.